Wake up, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Like always, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to Morning Brew Podcast wherever you download your podcast. Today's episode, Spencer and I get politically charged as we split our episode into two segments between politics and sports. We go over the recent shit show of a debate, and we have plenty to talk about, so we're going to jump right into it. But first, our affiliates.
The easiest way to begin your podcast. Sign up with Buzzsprout through the link in our show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card after your second month. Using the equipment that you already have in a quiet space, upload to Buzzsprout and your episodes are available everywhere podcasts are found. Apple, Google, Pandora, Spotify, and more. Instacart. Hundreds of grocers now at the ready to hand select items of your choosing. It's super easy. Use the app or head over to instacart.com. Check them out. Ready to order? Follow the link in our show notes and let them know we sent you. Essential items, office supplies, groceries, and even contactless delivery. Instacart has you covered. And today is sponsored by Rosie Cooks Gourmet Catering, located in the greater wine country of Northern California. Rosie Cooks was built off the passion for the culinary arts and is shared throughout the staff. From weddings to corporate events, gourmet packaged boxed lunches, wine pairings, and private events. The team at RC collectively challenge one another and deliver mouth-watering menus every time. Check them out at www.roseycooks.com on Facebook and Instagram. ROSEYCOOKS. And finally, Newness Productions for all your film and photography needs, from social media, promos, and commercials. Wedding films and photography. NewNessProductions.com. NEWNESS Productions.com. Now, let's just get on with it.
Tell them about the Twinkie.
What about the Twinkie?
Who you calling butthead? Butthead.
Y'all talking about? Y'all talking about me?
You take drugs, Danny? Every day.
This is ridiculous. It's crazy. I feel like I'm babysitting, except I'm not getting
I've
paid.
heard police work is dangerous.
It is. That's why I carry a big gun.
Aren't you afraid it might go off accidentally?
I used to have that
What
problem.
did you do about it?
I just think about baseball.
Declare.
Whose children is this?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
I gotta go to college. Danny, this isn't Russia.
Disaster of biblical
What he means is Old Testament, Mr. Mayor. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
Dead rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together.
And I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
What's that old funky? I blanked on the song.
Play that funky music, white boy.
Is that what it is?
Play that funky music, white boy. Yeah.
See, I always thought it said right boy, like correctly, like, you know? I don't know. I was like, oh, maybe.
You're thinking politically correct.
Yeah. Maybe that's just where my mind went.
I don't know what about this lighting, but for some reason I look like the whitest thing on earth. I'm just natural light.
You're very bright, yes.
I'm a very white man.
You are a very white man.
Yay, gingers.
All right, so this is not pinned. Cool. So, disclaimer for anybody that starts listening, this is probably just going to be a very politically heavy episode. Some insane shit has happened.
Now, vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now.
Are you gonna pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't want
you're a
to answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question is
Supreme Court justice, radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
right, gentlemen. Keep yapping, man.
The people understand, Joe.
They sure do.
47 years you've done nothing. They understand.
All right.
Anyways. All right, yeah, so let's we will talk about football. So for those of you that do not want to hear our opinions or care or matter, just go ahead and fast forward to the second segment. But where do you want to start? First of all, you want to start local politics in California, or do you want to start presidential?
What is there to talk about? I mean,
let's ease into it.
Okay, let's.
I think that'll
pick one thing to talk about, and I swear we'll go off on like 1,000 tangents.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to unpack here. so fucking much. Like, can we start off? Should we start historically? Like, it first started off with Donald Trump and Joe Biden at the debate.
Oh, so we're diving into the heavy shit now. We're going right to.
Oh, is this heavy?
That's heavy. Look, I think the Trump versus Biden thing is probably this might be a two-parter. I know there's going to be more, but I mean, shit's unfolding as we speak. Our president now is posy for the Rona, so
well, that's a totally different thing too.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching his. There will. Well, god damn it.
Not as soon as we thought.
That made. Okay, let's first off talk about Trump getting the Rona. All right, because if you watched his not press conference but his rally yesterday, he was in like fucking Wisconsin or Michigan or something, and people are in their coats, all bundled up because it's freezing as hell. Donald Trump shows up to that rally yesterday, and it is freezing. You have Wisconsins or Michiganians or whatever you call them, all bundled up in their in multiple layers, and you just have Donald Trump out there being a fucking stud. I'm just gonna say it's like Colin Kaepernick going out in sub-zero weather.
Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
How did that play out for him, by the way?
Now he's got the Rona. No, I'm playing. And I think it's stupid to assume that because he didn't wear protective gear that he got the Rona. I shouldn't say protective gear. I should say because he didn't bundle up, he got the Rona.
Is that what people are saying?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm just making an assessment that he was probably positive for the Rona already, and yet he's out there in sub-zero weather or super cold weather still doing his fucking thing. And if you look at, we have 32 days until the election, right? 32 days. And if you look at what happened when Boris Johnson in the UK got the Rona, his approval numbers went through the fucking roof. And so with everything going on right now, and people are being very cautious about their words, like, I don't wish for Donald Trump to die, but if it happened, I wouldn't be sad about it. That's the gist that I'm getting from a lot of people.
You're hearing a lot of mild, because I've got some people on my feed that are like, oh yes, they're like, he's gonna die now, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, cool, he's got a a 0.0 something odd chance of having this seriously and fatally affect him. Like, he has a better chance of stepping out into traffic, like
I did the math, like, just for my county. If you have diabetes or cardiovascular disease, those are the two main drivers. It's not the Rona. It's the Rona in combination with these other pre-existing conditions. That's why you're dying from the virus.
Right. Well, I would be concerned again. Okay. So say if this were Biden, I would be concerned. I would be very concerned just because of their physical differences, where Biden might have that, he might be used to the stamina that it takes for a politician, but there's more stamina involved with what Trump's done, not only now, but before that. It's just this constant go, go, go. So it's not like he's used to being lazy or something. He's not the healthiest dude, that's for sure. But
neither is fucking Warren Buffett, who eats a ribeye steak every night. Yeah, and then McDonald's for breakfast. I'm just saying.
Well, it's all different people, but when I heard about it, I was like, well, it was just kind of honestly a matter of time. It's coincidental timing, but it was a matter of time, and chances are he'll be fine. But they'll most likely try to postpone the second debate. I don't think it went that well for Biden. I did read a few articles where Biden was being called to pull out of the second debate. Boy. Oh.
Why? Because their podiums are easily at least 6 feet apart.
Yeah,
I mean, if he was truly concerned.
Trump is 6'3".
He's 6'3"?
I didn't realize that. Somebody said his stats today. It was like 6'3", 200 and something pounds. I was like, he's 6'3".
Put him in a point guard for the Lakers. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Lakers don't need him.
I'm kidding.
That's sore, terrible. Man. Why you got to bring that shit up right now? Why you got to bring it up?
What? Basketball?
Look,
I'm sorry.
Move on to that later.
I'm sorry, but let's keep it on the politics. My bad.
My bad. Salt right in the fresh wound. All right. So, yeah, I see them delaying it. He was being called to like not go into a second debate, I guess. I think it went better for Biden than anyone expected. I think Trump is his own worst enemy here. Look, you hit it on the nose. You hit that nail right on the fucking head. You said Trump was going to come out and just annihilate him. And that is what he meant to do. He came out to do it.
Mm-hmm.
A few things I noticed. Biden was on the defensive a lot. No. And there's a few clips I'll play here.
Question to you is, you have refused in the past to talk about it. Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel.
Excuse me, Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you were number two.
No.
With you,
go ahead. Wait a minute. You get the final word, Mr.
Well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown. Excuse me.
Hey, let me just say to
you. No. I'm Mr. President.
$3.5 million, Joe.
In this, but Trump really never went on the defensive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he just kind of went right back. My favorite line.
Law
support.
Look, he has no law enforcement
That's not
support.
true.
Almost
that's
nothing.
Look.
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go ahead.
Look,
think. We have time.
We don't have time to do anything.
No, think
All right.
about it. Name one law enforcement group that came out and supported
gentlemen,
you.
I think I'm going to take back the moderator's
I don't think
role,
there are any.
and I want to get.
So he says, no, we don't have time. We don't have time for that.
So
because he does it.
That was my favorite. He came out and just went to town on him. The problem with that was Trump became his own worst enemy because Biden's worst enemy is himself too. Let him talk. Mm-hmm. Work him up. Get him worked up about his son and stuff. Cut him off a bunch of times. And the moment he calls you an idiot, the moment he goes off scripted, let him go. Let him go.
I agree with that. His strategy should have been let Joe Biden ramble on and on and on and lose his train of thought. But every single time that Joe Biden went to go speak, Trump said did the nope, wrong kind of stuff. And if he would have kept his mouth shut, I'm gonna be honest, like Joe Biden would have lost his train of thought. I'm pretty sure Joe Biden forgot the word for mailbox somewhere in the middle of one of his. Oh, you know the thing. He did one of those.
So I'll find it. I'll find this one clip and I'll play this. But
Mike, okay,
there was the one where where Joe's going.
Excuse me, Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you were number two.
No.
You were number two.
No.
You were number two.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Like he was on his ass, though. He was on him. So
I love it.
Anyways, but yeah, he should have let him talk. Ultimately, he should have let him talk a little bit more because there were times where even my wife and I were like, "Shut up, Trump! Like, shut up! Just shut up for a second. Like, let him talk," because he was about to say something stupid.
My favorite line out of the whole thing,
Yeah.
Aside from the whole, I brought Big Ten football back.
It was me, and I'm very happy
I
to
know
do
the
it.
suburbs way better
wrong
than
turn.
you.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would not.
They
I
got
was
them,
raised-
like,
wait a minute.
I was
they were
raised
fighting
in the
over the
suburbs.
stupidest
Yeah.
fucking thing. And
Oh, it was childish.
he's like, no, I know the suburbs way better than you do. And I'm not gonna lie, Trump probably does know the suburbs better because he's a real estate
Yeah,
guy.
he's a real mogul. Yeah.
So
I'm having
but the way it was done. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, and then Facebook just lit up. Oh, it lit up. It lit up like a fucking firecracker.
Dude,
Bro.
I don't want to okay, the whole, Trump didn't denounce white supremacists. He's done it multiple effing times.
Okay, that's
we talk
perfect.
about that?
Yes.
We talk about this?
Yes, I do want to talk about this. I'm going to play the clip right now because this is why it is so hard for me to listen to anything on the left, because they take something like this and they run with it for days, even though it has been.
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now,
And they asked the president what he thought. He said there were very fine people on both sides. No president has ever said anything like that.
He said there were very fine people on both sides. He's still running with that. Right before he said there were very fine people, he condemned the KKK and white supremacy. Let's leave that part out, though. Let's leave out the part that you said he won't do.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the debate, he said, "What do you want me to call him? What do you want? Say it. Give me a name. Give me a name." The wrong thing that Trump did there was not just say white supremacists. Not just say white supremacists, all of them, whatever. Just stay, whatever. I denounce you. Whatever. Just say it. There, we're happy. Move on, Joe.
Yeah. The reason why he didn't say it that way is because it's pretty fucking stupid to assume that, okay, it's a blanket term of white supremacists. Well, Trump knows it better, right? He's seen these events taking place throughout the country. He knows that the KKK is different than the Aryan Brotherhood, which is different than all these other alt-right groups. Which one are you talking about? Which white supremacist groups do you want me to specifically say? Because he's done it multiple times throughout his presidency. Everyone wants to point, oh, well, Joe Biden, denounced Antifa way back. Well, that was after 2 months of rioting. He said, now I want the violence to stop. After 2 whole months. Every single time that one of these events happens where there's a racial tension, like 2017, the Tiki Torch incident, right? Trump denounced what was going on from both sides, both Antifa and the white supremacists and the alt-right groups. And that was the weekend of, right? And then he also does a press release, or not a press release, but a press conference 3 days after that to clarify his statements. Trump, time and time again, has had to come to say, I denounce white supremacists. I denounce white supremacists. He's done it multiple times because the media just doesn't believe him. That's all it comes down to.
And then here's where I have a problem with politics. And this is, again, where the left is like, they're making this about white supremacy when in reality, if you look up the numbers on those actual groups, the members, the people that they're trying to lump in, I mean, it's so microscopic. We're talking about back in the hills people. I mean, it's just, they're so microscopic. So what the left is basically saying is we need to trigger it, focus in on these guys, these people right here, this microscopic people that he needs to denounce. I need him to denounce these because there's a lot of other shit going on in the world. There's a lot of other stuff going on in the world that we could probably be talking about. You're distracting me right now, and you're trying to make me believe he's some sort of secret Hitler, Nazi-esque and which is just not true. I know the facts. You look, you know what? Look for any supporters that are African American, Black, whatever, Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to call them. They're out there. They're out there by the thousands. I mean, there's tons of them.
Yeah.
If they and there's you think that if they thought he was racist, if there was any facts to that, he would have that many? I don't know. It's aggravating, man, but at the same time, there's so many things that are like fact check. You need to fact check this, and that is that one of the
things that needs to be fact checked is the question of are the Proud Boys a white supremacist group? Are they? Because you know what? This is funny. I did a little bit of research like back in 2016, and I was like, this organization kept coming up of like, oh, Proud Boys, what the heck is that? Like, okay, they're showing up to protests to do kind of anti-protests, and I'm researching them. I'm like, this seems like it's just a troll group. Like, no joke, they literally formed in order to just troll liberals. One of their initiation ceremony, no joke, is you have to list 5 breakfast cereals while you're getting beat up by members of the Proud Boys. And
that's so weird.
It's stupid.
I hadn't heard of them at all until the presidential debate. So obviously I was like, all right, let's look at what this really is. Do you know that the leader, the leader of Proud Boys or whatever, he's also the leader for Latinos for Trump? Like it's like this. It's this micro organization, just kind of.
The international chairman is a black Cuban.
The most violence that they initiated was at like a protest with two other sides, and it's like, shocker, somebody might have said or something on either side and acted stupid. Shocker. She's like, what are you trying to tell me?
Yeah. Well, the founder of it, Gavin something, he got invited to that Tiki Torch rally protest, racist march in Georgia back in 2017, right? And he said straight up, immediately said, no, I don't want to be associated with neo-Nazis. The founder of the organization said he does not want to be associated with neo-Nazis. And you look at the 12 core principles of the Proud Boys, right in the middle is anti-racist. And some of the policy proposals are, the core principles.
Well, then that's all you need to know, right? Then that's all we need to know.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just...
we need to move on. I get it.
No, that's where everybody gets stuck, and then you can get into this long argument on whether or not the Proud Boys are anything, and then it's like, wait, here we are focusing on this microscopic little tiny thing, and there's the division, and then you find out the truth. Let's just stick to the facts. Are they racist? Are they neo-Nazis? Nope. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. He was making a joke at Biden. Okay, I got it. He was jabbing a little bit. All right.
Well, Biden was the one who said Proud Boys.
Right.
Biden was, and you saw that, right?
So if that's what that was, all right, cool. Same thing when you start really, and this is this one might divide some listeners out there, but if there's any listeners out there that don't know the facts, check the facts. The Breonna Taylor stuff. Look at how far we've come with just having that rah-rah, and then you start digging, and you start finding out,
dead body in the trunk?
Yeah, Breonna Taylor had a dead body in the trunk that led her up to getting fired from her paramedic's job. Okay, shit. What was that all about? Oh, she also dated a person who was being investigated for a fentanyl ring, and now her new boyfriend is also now like taking over the fentanyl ring thing. Like, oh, she starts seeing the pattern, and I'm not, again, Not saying she needed to die, but those are facts. And then the last fact is when they broke into the house, announced that they were police officers, the boyfriend fired the first shot. What are you supposed to do then when you start getting shot at as a cop? Not
fire
back? Then what's the point of being a cop? To say, hey, stop it. We all can do that.
Yep. You see, and this is what, like, can you imagine what the situation would be if the cops fired first too? Like,
oh, it'd be terrible.
It would be there'd be riots in the streets.
But that's why they jam it in those guys' brains. You know, you don't fire the first shot. You don't fire until fired upon.
Yeah. Ugh.
So when you start digging, you start finding out these facts, and then you look at how far we are, and you start seeing Breonna Taylor all over the place. It's like, boy, I don't want to make the wrong analogy here, but it gets borderline like, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know what? And I don't know enough about the facts either.
So that's it. I mean, that's all I was going to say about that. It's when you start looking into the facts and you see how far we've come, how this destruction has happened, and then how much it's really intervened between everyday people's lives, from people going to work or trying to go work after the pandemic or during the pandemic on the freeways, and business owners just not being able to show up, and open up. It's crazy. So when there's that much shit going on with the left, it's really fucking hard. And I'm saying this because it's not like I really, really, really want Donald Trump to be our president. I just really, 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 really don't want Joe Biden to be our president.
Well, that's a tale of politics, right? It's just everyone. It's not so much I'm voting for this person. It's I'm voting against this guy, and that's the shitty thing about politics these days, is that we can't really find someone to unify around. We can't find someone that we all we're not going to. We're not going to find the perfect candidate. It's the lesser of two evils. It's just shitty that's what we have. And I think the debate really shows maybe we need a third party. Maybe we do need that. It's funny because when elections like these come around, shit happens. When debates go like how they did, we just showcase to the world that we're a fucking laughingstock. People are literally laughing at us. And it sucks to say because I don't want to be a laughingstock. I'm associated with this. Fuck. Doesn't matter what party I choose.
When you look at the left and like Joe Biden and all that shit, when you look at that stuff, it takes somebody like this to just not care, take every insult, take everything it's got, because he knows these people are just so twisted and fucking up the country and just using it to every benefit. You see so many things that are just like profound, right? Like I read one today that said when Trump got into politics, his son stopped and ceased all international sales or business. Mm-hmm. When Biden got into politics, into the White House and the politics, his son started international business and sale. And it's just like, and then they want to poke fun at whose family's, more crooked. And anyways, so it's really hard to get behind that whole side. And it makes for interesting television.
I'm tired of career politicians. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the powerful families. I think we all want a level playing field. I think we all want the person with the best ideas, not the one with the most money, to make it in politics. And we've got two very powerful and wealthy families. A up against each other. And that's what it feels like. It's that they don't represent necessarily the common folk. I think Trump represents the average American better, because he's no bullshit. He's not from politics. He's never held a public office in his life. And I think that's the taste in everyone's mouth right now, is that we're just kind of disgusted with politics, and people that are so out of touch with reality.
So, did you see the earpiece?
I saw The Wire.
You saw The Wire?
It's very awkward to see Joe Biden, who I think he's right-handed, use his left hand to go onto his right side and kept adjusting his collar because the wire kept popping out. Yeah, I saw it.
So there were plenty of times, and you can go back and watch it. You and I know, because you deal with music and I deal with this podcasting stuff. When you hear something being pumped into your ears, especially yourself, or something you're supposed to say or sing along with, if it's on a delay, it's hard. It's very difficult to get rid of that equilibrium problem that really throws you off. There were a few times I could tell he was being told something, and you could see him like do this thing where he's like wincing and he's like trying to hear, and then he does his typical and I think every politician has it. Like, you have it, no offense. Like, everybody has, when they're talking, this little sentence starter, or buys you a few seconds to gather
collect your thoughts.
Yeah, like look, here's the deal, or look, here's the thing, or everybody just has their little thing. And he did that so many times. And there were times where you could tell he was switching from what was being pumped into his ear to freestyling and just being him. But yeah, there's nothing anybody's going to say that's going to convince me he wasn't wearing an earpiece. You could see like a little spot right here in his left ear. And I
found it funny how the guy is to his right, and he still is somehow talking like his head cocked this way, talking to him that way, because I think there's an earpiece that he's trying to hide on this ear
on the TV.
But yet he's looking at the moderator to his right, but has the earpiece on his left, and he's like this, trying to talk, also to keep that ear kind of covered.
There was a time where he got Trump got asked by Chris Wallace about his taxes, and Biden got like excited. He's like a dog heard a whistle. I mean, he wanted something to answer for that. And I'm not even going to die on that hill. Look, here's the deal with the taxes. Everybody does their taxes every year. You sit down, and either you do it with a professional, or you do it with your wife, or you do it by yourself, and you do whatever it takes to get the best tax breaks, best tax cuts. That's the game. That is the fucking game. Okay.
You will pay a $200,000 an hour accountant to do your taxes, to save yourself $20,000.
Oh,
that's old money for you.
You found another $80 you can get me back? Yeah, I want that. I want that back. Yeah, you can find me another 70. Sure, I'll take that too. 120. Okay.
Living in Lodi, seeing the old money here, the reason why they have a lot of money is because they're still rolling around on that 40-year-old car. They're cheap. They're gonna do everything possible to save money.
All I'm saying is, like, to have that be a political standoff. That, okay, if Trump did his taxes and he did it legally, and he paid only $750 because he paid somebody to find out all the little deductions and stuff that he can get, if he did it through the loopholes that were given him by politicians, then who are you really mad at?
You should be mad at Joe Biden for allowing that tax code to be in place during those years.
That is like getting mad at somebody that's playing a game. They did it completely legal, no cheating, and they got to the end and they succeeded, and they got there faster than you, better than you, and with more stamina, and you're like, fuck that person.
Don't we all wish we were paying $750 in taxes?
Yeah.
And if he did something wrong, if he did something illegal, he would be in jail.
Right.
But it's the fact that he's not.
So let's find it. If it's there, cool. If it's not, okay, let's move on. Like I said, let's stick to the facts. Let's keep moving on, because if you don't keep moving on, you get stuck, and there's no progress.
Yeah, I was watching the post-debate stuff, and you had CNN, who had a group of likely voters who thought Joe Biden won. One person rose their hand out of, I think, 12. Who do I think won the debate? Joe Jorgensen, or the Libertarian candidate.
Dude, Chris Wallace didn't even press.
Okay, let's talk about Chris Wallace for a second.
The moment I realized, okay, I had thought like maybe he'll be a good moderator, and I was like, is he kind of being one-sided? The moment I realized he was being almost one-sided, or almost fully one-sided, was when he didn't push Biden on bringing up the fine people comment, when that has been widely discredited, widely disproved, and he knows it.
Had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
And let that go.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pushed Trump on lighter than that kind of shit. You know, I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know if you noticed it before then. I don't know if you did notice it at all. What do you think?
I didn't even notice it. I just know that the media blew up afterwards. So as I was saying, like, even with all of these discussions right now in our country about people having bias, even the moderators have a bias. You're not supposed to show bias, but they do. And Chris Wallace, even though he, works for Fox News, which is typically a, conservative program,
mm-hmm.
He is a Democrat. And so it really makes me wonder, should we be choosing someone who is nonpartisan to then be the moderator of these debates? Because especially with everyone this day and age either believing the media is quote unquote fake news or a legitimate source of information, there are questions in our country right now about how biased is our media. 90% of the heads of major news networks are incredibly left on the spectrum. And so what are we being fed? And does Chris Wallace have an ulterior motive? He's really good at grilling people. But it felt like Donald Trump kept getting grilled by Chris Wallace a hell of a lot more
mm-hmm.
than Joe did.
I agree on that one. Boy, I was really, really, really eager for the second debate. I was eager because I think Trump would have learned and realized he went too heavy and would have pulled back. But now we're going to end up dealing with this COVID crap. And I know as of this morning, everybody's kind of getting worried because he's not tweeting enough that he's not tweeting his regular amount. And they said he had mild symptoms, which is probably typically how they would play it if he had more severe symptoms.
But it also, like, 80% of people who get coronavirus are asymptomatic. So the fact that he's even showing mild symptoms, I think that says something. And the dude's going to come out fine.
I hope so.
And I hope it really shows the country that hey,
Dude,
this virus is not as severe as everyone. Imagine Trump getting out of having coronavirus, getting over it, and then being like, "What the fuck was the big deal? This is absolute bullshit."
One of two things are going to happen.
I'm so excited for that moment to happen.
And we're split between that because half of the nation is like either secretly or non-secretly wishing he's dead, and that they're proven right that this coronavirus is, because you saw what Pelosi said, that Trump's diagnosis all of a sudden it makes things easier for them in Congress to pass the bill, because it really shows that this is a vicious virus. And like, why? Because it affected our president, the man that travels literally the most out of anyone in this nation, like the one that's probably most ragged and worn down and with a different amount. Yeah. Anyway.
Have you seen a single picture in these past 6 months with Donald Trump wearing a mask? No, because he doesn't. And so for 6 months, he has been vulnerable to getting this virus. And now's the time he gets it. And it's going to, I just.
Well, and then you have the other half that are going to be like, he's going to be fine. He'll come out of this. It'll show that it wasn't a big deal. And, yeah, but
I think there's a way that conservatives. Go for it.
No, just within 30 days before the election. Woo.
Man, this is the time to play the victim card. I was a survivor of coronavirus.
I am not looking forward to the Pence-Kamala debate. I think she is going to chew his ass alive.
I also think that, yeah, I agree. The way she grills people in the Senate.
A DA.
Yeah, dude.
That was her job.
Yeah.
Her job was literally to go to work and stand in front of a judge and grill people. Prosecute him.
Mm-hmm.
That's and Pence is a wet blanket. He is just like, he's hard to listen to, man.
I don't mind the guy. But again, I think he
doesn't deliver a message.
He fits that mold of Trump. It's not Trump. He fits the mold of career politician for me.
Yep, he's your typical Republican politician.
Yeah. Well, you've got Trump, who's the crazy sporadic, will do whatever, and then you have the calm, collected Mike Pence because he's been doing the politics for 20 plus years.
Right, and that's what makes Trump so exciting to watch, because he knows that if Biden says anything outlandish, Trump's going to jump. He'll pounce. Pence will wait and maybe get lost in the message and then let that person go for too long. And then by the time they finish and you go to respond, it's just this whole cat and mouse game. And Pence is he's hard to listen to. I fall asleep listening to him. I'm like, wait, start it over again. What was he saying?
He's maybe a little. For me, he's maybe a little too old school. That's just my own personal opinion of Mike Pence. It's like vanilla ice cream. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kamala's going to do really well, and I think she has to, because I think even Biden supporters understand how fragile Joe Biden really is. And whether he's physically or mentally there, that can he last 4 years? Personally, I don't think he can last 2. And you're looking at your possible future president up there on that debate stage. Joe Biden said it himself. He picked someone who could be the president for a long time in the very near future. And he chose Harris. So
this is wild to me, man. Everything's fucking weird. And then this is just the little umbrella that's also what's going on underneath here. You've got, where do we even start? So you've got James Comey not recalling a single thing that ex-head of the FBI just during his investigation can't recall so many things. You know, I can't recall all these questions he's being grilled for over an investigation. So he's bullet dodging, or he was just so incompetent he should have never held the position of the FBI.
About that, they took out liability insurance, which is a huge sign that they're in some deep shit, that they got the right witnesses to come up on that stand, and shit's about to go down. There is a lot of corruption in the FBI that we just don't know about.
I think there's a lot of corruption in a lot of places that we're finding out about real quick. And I think a lot of it has to do, and it seems like this, or it's just coincidental. A lot of it has to do with getting that man out of the office.
There's no such thing as coincidence in politics.
Well, so you've got Comey going on in the background. You've got more shit unfolding about Epstein going on in the background. I sent you that one thing where it's like, does anybody else realize that Ghislaine Maxwell was invited to Chelsea Clinton's wedding and sat in the front row?
Front row.
You don't sit in the front row of Chelsea Clinton's wedding unless you're either important Chelsea Clinton or one of the parents. I'm sorry. You and I both know important people sit in the front row only, and at that wedding, you better be somebody. So that's just hey, not enough proof though, right? That's not proof. That's not like, it's not proof that anything went or happened wrong. Just proof that one of the most scandalous, darkest, secreted, politically charged sex cult rings happens to be in that lady's home and her boyfriend's. That's all. That's all.
Just look the other way, folks.
Yeah. I mean, so much shit's going on.
It's election year. It'll all pass after.
No,
then
stop
we'll have
saying that. That's not
years.
Normal. This is not normal. This is not a normal election year.
It's absolutely not.
What?
And they're talking about the effects of afterwards. Like, this election may be illegitimate because of the voter fraud. There are already lawsuits being filed across the country about all the mail-in ballot stuff, and there's
side except results.
I don't think it's about either side. Will the American people accept?
Right.
Like it's like it's not about the candidates or the parties. It's about the American people. Will they accept that this is the result of the election? Dude, this could all just fucking be solved with voter ID.
I know. You keep bringing it up.
I keep bringing it up because it's the only thing that we've been dragging our feet on voter ID because it's quote unquote racist. It's not.
Why would we have voter ID if you can't have a control of it?
We can have control over it just like we do with the DMV and the fucking, like, that's a terrible example. But
I think there's just more. What I mean is, I think there's the ability to manipulate the numbers a little bit more without the voter ID, and that's working against what people want.
Right.
Certain people, some people. Well,
the federal government, when you turn 18, should give you, like, for men, like, give them a shaving kit and a little social security card, but instead it's a voter ID card with your PIN number that you have to put in every single time that you vote. It's identical to you. Keep that shit just as secret as your social security card because it's just as valuable and it's just as important. I don't see how we can't do that. I just don't.
No,
and I get it. States
doable.
have their own rules. States have their own rules. But.
Well, speaking of states, Cali, I don't know how excited you are about possibly paying reparations back to slavery, but I, for one, know for sure that my grandmother on my mother's side, who immigrated over here from Ireland, begging for a
same
job,
boat, same exact same situation.
Oh, I'm gonna keep going. So I don't how her and her their family begged for a job and then joined the military and sacked up and did things right. I don't know how on my father's side, how we immigrated over from Portugal and introduced the ukulele to the Hawaiians and came over around, I think, the 20s or something like that. How we have zero fucking hands or roots back into slavery, let alone American slavery. But I am super pumped to pay reparations back for that shit. And where does it go? And why? What in the fuck, Spencer? What is going on?
I just found out a new phrase, dude. ADOS. Right? American descendant of slavery.
Oh.
That you didn't have to personally experience it, but because you're a descendant of someone who did.
But I'm not.
But you're not. But other people are.
So can I be? Where's my paperwork to be as my tax write-off? I don't have to pay that tax. You know who has to pay that tax? Obama. His mother's family owned slaves.
My family never owned slaves. We were. Actually, I don't know about that.
I think my wife's might have. So
my dad's side might have. They owned this Rhodes Laura estate that's still in Pennsylvania to this day. It's like a historical site. But they were millers. They owned a shit ton of grain. Like he was like great grandpa Rhodes was like a millionaire in the 1800s.
So
I don't know where the money went, but
I don't know. And then you see all those memes where this picture of this like Japanese little girl, and it's like, hey, she owes us an apology for Pearl Harbor, and it's boy, I don't know how excited you are about that, but California sure is.
I find it
interesting.
I just find it ironic that California is the one that's doing a study on reparations when we purposefully, as a state, chose not to be a southern slave state, even though 60% of our population at the time was below that what is it, the Mason-Dixon line? I forget. We could have technically been considered a slave state. We could have technically been considered a southern state, but California specifically said, no, we do not want to be a slave state. So I just find it ironic. Like, why isn't Mississippi doing the study? Why?
You would think that more of the states that were involved,
responsible for it, for slavery,
that were like elbow deep in it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think so. And so speaking of, I feel like racial things are being introduced to us, and it's like, hey, we were getting rid of all that. We were all good. We were like, we knew that it was an issue, and we were like, everybody was fine, and now all of a sudden everybody's not. We understood that like little minuscule shit happened, and we don't condone that. We condemn those people. So now
the problem that I see today, I'm sorry, go on. I keep interrupting you.
No. So now, and because I'm asking you, because you're involved with California law. So now in California, our counties are going to reopen based upon the COVID levels of the Black, Hispanic, and Pacific Islander communities.
What they just introduced was a racial equity.
There it is. That's what it's called.
The racial equity module or whatever in our COVID rules. This was not a factor earlier on at all. It was strictly supposed to be positivity rates and hospitalizations. But then when they rewrote it
to reduce the rates of those communities, forcing us to focus on the racial division, and figure out ways, and people don't even know how the fuck to go about this, figure out the ways to reduce those rates and not hold them or anybody accountable for the protests contributing to the COVID rates amongst. I mean, what in the fuck is going on? Like, somebody stop playing Jumanji already. What in the fuck?
Well, they're saying that the big problem areas are the poor, low income, racial, the areas that are occupied by racial minorities. So in Lodi, that it's true that those in the 95240 area code, which is older east side of Lodi, that is a higher Latino population, they are the ones that have the higher positivity rates. And a lot of that has to do with poor health.
I want to tell
you, a lot of them
just shut up right now. That's all.
Sorry.
No, I'm not being mean. I'm hearing it all, and I'm just saying in my head, all I keep hearing is shut up. Just shut up and open the county. Just shut up. Just open the counties. Open the counties, let people go back to work, go back to business. If they're sick, they'll go get seen in quarantine. Everybody just shut up and open up already.
You know what? It's funny if you were Walt Disney asking California to open up, within 24 hours you're going to have some fucking new executive order signed or some law that's specifically tailored to you. They said that, and then the next day California says, "Hold on. Don't do that just yet. We're working on it. We're gonna get this going real quick for you," because they know that 28,000 people in Orange County without jobs is gonna really suck.
Mm-hmm. Well, they also know, Tesla not being in California is really gonna suck. That's why they're fighting him so hard. Everybody is leaving, and we always touch on this. And I keep looking at this. I'm like, what? Again, if state taxes go above that 15, 16%, there's no reason to stay here.
We're already at 12, right?
I know we are.
For the most if you make over $100,000, you are taxed at 12 or 13%. I can't remember which one. But God, man, it's like these CEOs are like giving California like one last chance. Like, we're gonna leave if you don't change something here, right now. I am not surprised. I would not be surprised if Disneyland says, "Middle finger, you California. We're moving to Houston."
Never do it. They'll never do it. There's too many people in LA. There's too many people to visit LA.
Well, now there are.
That's what it's about, is visiting. And California has that good weather all year.
Could you have that? Yeah, fuck.
I mean, I'm surprised Disney World's in Orlando, but look,
if Disney builds it, they will come. That's my personal opinion of it.
I believe in that. I'd go. I mean, I would probably rather go to Houston. I'd rather fly my kids to Houston and go there than drive down. Well, okay. So before I get even more disgusted at the fact that rent is being considered this low in so long in the Bay Area, a 1-bedroom. You want to know what they're complaining about? How rent is so low for a 1-bedroom apartment?
$1,900 for a 1-bedroom right now?
Oh no! That's too low.
It's too low?
That's too low.
Dude, I remember 2009. My frickin' friend went out to San Francisco. She got a fucking apartment for $950 a month.
Well, that lady,
11 years ago.
There should have been rent control or something for her, because right now what they're saying is this is the lowest it's been in years, and it's $2,800 a month for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment.
I want to throw up.
Right? First of all, that's disgusting. But what the main point here is, the article was discussing how rent has just plummeted due to the wildfires and the pandemic, and everybody just leaving. And just
Bay Area employers gave their employees the notification, hey, you are 100%, you're free to work from home. And we can continue that even after the pandemic. So what's that doing? That's pushing all these Bay Area folks making that same buco bucks, moving out to like freaking,
Vallejo,
Calaveras, Amador.
Yeah.
They're able to, you know what? And even if they're told like, hey, you have to come into work, 2-3 days a week, they're like, okay. They're still willing to like drive 4 to 5 hours a day to get to work. That's okay for some folks. Because then they have...
Because instead of having a 1-bedroom or having 3 roommates in a 2-bedroom and trying to work from home, they're going, oh, wow, I could save money, work from home in Vallejo somewhere, and have a 4-bedroom house for this cost, and have my own office area. And yeah.
That's why so many people are coming out here to Lodi and driving the prices up. Like, dude, right now is the time to sell. You got houses that were last year worth $350,000 going for $475,000 this year. It's nuts.
I would agree, but I was also reading that because of the wildfires, homeowners insurance only have until June to abide by their commitments to homeowners, and most insurance companies will no longer be providing homeowners insurance or wildfire insurance to California homeowners because for the past 3 years,
the risk is too high.
They've lost money continuously. So finding homeowners insurance is either going to be outrageously high or non-existent.
Yeah, you've got homes. Like my wife's in insurance, right? And so what she's seeing is more and more areas are just getting cut off completely. Saying, nope, we're not going to offer insurance in this area. Places that were, or they're only in for...
So fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you buy that insurance for that reason. Yeah. You don't buy... Look, you don't have a house in New Orleans and you get wildfire insurance, you get flood insurance, you get, because that's part of the area. You get wildfire insurance in California because that's part of your area. For them to go, oh, well, you got hit by a wildfire, so we don't want to do this anymore. That's so fucked up.
Yeah. Shit, dude. Yeah. And it's this game, right? It's this Californians don't want their home values to decrease. Yet if your home values were lower, you would be able to, the insurance companies would probably say, yeah, we can insure your home because if you lost it completely, that's a lot easier to eat up, a $250,000 home than a $500,000 home, and it's just the market, man. I don't know what to say. I just think the long-term effects of COVID are going to be huge. I mean, if employers are allowing their employees to move or to still be employed and work 100% from home, we may see people, living in freaking New Mexico, like working for a company in the Bay Area.
I'm sure there already is. I'm almost positive there probably is. I mean, and that kind of takes me to my next talking point that I wanted to discuss with you. The U-Haul Employee of the Month, Gavin Newsom, he did you see that thing where he was talking about a while back that if it wasn't for baseball in college and his scholarship, he would have never done well because his grades were so terrible? And he was like this whole joke employee, and it was just like this little thing that nobody really paid attention to. And then if you go to look up Santa Barbara's college, nobody there. Nobody's even on the roster for that with the name Gavin Newsom or anything like that. He was an original Aunt Becky's kid.
Oh God. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He had some family write a check, and he's a star athlete. Put that on my resume.
He got a start in politics when he was super young too.
Nice little page out of the Joseph Kennedy book.
I don't know, man.
You didn't see that?
No.
Yeah,
I did not know. I did
look
not
into
know
it.
that.
Look
Dude,
into
there's
it.
a lot of shady stuff going on. I mean, he's also got like an investigation that needs to be done on his, income taxes, right? Like he's got income from just randomly, and he's got a few gifts that weren't reported. This is all just me headline reading though. That there are some shady things about his income that that need to be investigated. I don't know.
Well, information superhighway, man. Everything's getting faster, quicker, and more accessible. We're all looking online. Everything get passed around. I think that's what we're dealing with for the majority. I think people don't realize that it wasn't long ago, like you and I were dealing with Nokia brick phones, playing Snake and stuff, and
I missed that.
And you couldn't just Google whatever you wanted to learn today, how to bondo a car or make chicken cacciatore, like cacciatore.
How do I change my oil?
You just, you didn't have any of that at your fingertips, so it's all just picking up faster. Something goes on online, we all know about it. Like by that morning, I woke up this morning and I knew about Trump testing positive for COVID because my phone decided to give me that message just because, hey,
Apple News.
Yeah, it was just, hey, this is news right here. This is what you want to hear. So
your daily download.
Everything's quick. I didn't even have to turn my TV on, and it wasn't that long ago where people had to actually physically look for that kind of information on their television and wait for it to be told to them rather than search or do any research themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, all right, buddy. I think unless you have anything else to say about politics right now, I'm ready to move on to sports. Anything else about
I want my damn kids to go to school. That's the fucking just
open the counties,
cake, man. Well, dude, here's the deal. The counties are now, my county is allowed to open. And we're dealing with this shit right now where the school district can technically open in 14 days if it chooses to open the schools, which would be at the end of our fall break that literally starts this afternoon. Yay, my daughter is going to be allowed to stay home with me while I work and not have to deal with school, which is godsend. But now the school district gets a chance to reopen, but they've been dragging their feet for this whole time. They could have been working to put an action plan in place, but there's nothing. And you've got the teachers that are all up in arms like, hey, we can't do distance learning and physical learning at the same time. Those kids that are on the distance learning platform are not going to get the same experience as those in the classroom. So we need to think about that. And then, the teachers are having to work hard to do two different learning modules, physical and distance, and aren't getting compensated for it. And there's just so much shit going on. And it feels like I'm being held hot. Like the parents of my school district are being held hostage because the school district, the superintendent, and the teachers union can't just get their shit together and put a plan in place. And
I get you. No, it's frustration's out the door.
Yeah. That's my last thing on politics I want to talk about today.
Open the fucking counties. That's it. Open the counties.
Well, the counties can't. It doesn't matter if the counties are open. It's just a matter of, okay, great. That next step. What's that next step?
So much harm. Figure it out. You had plenty of time to figure it out. You had plenty of time to set it all up. You had plenty of time to set up literally a choose your own adventure book worth of options of okay, if the COVID is this bad, we can go this route. If COVID isn't this bad, we go this route. You could have had all that stuff set up. Open the counties. You're doing terrible, horrible damage to children and parents. You're increasing stress out the wazoo. Look at the other states that are doing very well and are being silenced on how well they're doing. And wake up. Nobody's saying the virus isn't real. Virus is very real. Everybody's saying the virus isn't that bad. It isn't that serious, and we're close to. Look, I'm with you. I get the frustrations.
You've got a lot of people though that are like, "Oh my God, you just don't understand that there's so much we don't know about this virus." And I'm just like, we've had 6 months to study the effects of this virus. We know damn well what's going on.
I know somebody who knows somebody who had it and was severely affected or possibly died when they were 83.
You know what? My sympathy goes out to that person, but at 83 years old, it probably wasn't COVID. It was COVID plus all the other symptoms that or conditions that person probably had. Right? You're probably taking blood pressure medication. You're probably taking about a billion other fucking.
But you know what
pills.
An 83-year-old doesn't need to do? They don't need to go out to restaurants, sit down and eat. They don't need to go out and go shopping, walking through Ross or whatever, or to an elementary school so they can. We have other people that won't be as infected and need to get their lives back on track, need to get shit back in order, or there's going to be even more chaos.
There are people that are vulnerable to this virus, and they need to be taking every precaution to make sure that they're protected.
Sure.
But for the rest of us, the people we can't. I'm sorry, we can't be held hostage. We can't be, just
15 days,
stuck.
right? 15 days to flatten the curve. Remember that one?
6 months, man. It's been six and a half fucking months now.
We're almost going trick or treating.
Yep. I'm gonna take a slingshot. And I'm just gonna shoot Jolly Ranchers at kids from my balcony. That's what you're saying. Happy Halloween.
I'm just, but I mean, seriously, when this shit was breaking out on Flatten a Curve,
be safe.
We were like, what? Weren't we around St. Patty's Day when we were like talking about flattening the curve, and for 15 days, and now we're about to go trick or treating. Next thing we're gonna know, we're gonna be singing Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well.
Keep yapping, man.
The people understand you.
Sports. Nobody. My Celtics are out, so I don't care about the finals anymore. The Lakers are just gonna steamroll it. Just give them the fucking trophy already.
Give them the trophy.
If Miami does anything, they'll win 1 or 2 games max. They're gonna just roll through those dudes, and nobody cares. So, no,
nobody cares. Nobody cares about sports right now. Nobody cares about the NBA. Their ratings are so fucking low. It's terrible.
The NBA and the MLB ratings are horribly low. But the NFL is not bad. They're still NFL is the one that's decently holding on. They're obviously NFL's hurting.
NFL's a powerhouse, though.
You can't imagine the pain they're probably feeling just from ticket sales alone.
I can't tell you the pain I'm feeling from having to sit James Conner because of the COVID.
The bid.
Postponement.
Oh, last night, I texted you, but I don't think anybody likes to text in those group things. The Jets definitely borrowed my Bengals offensive line for Thursday night.
Yeah. Who won that game? I didn't even watch it. That's how...
Not the Jets.
Okay, good. I'm 1 for 1 so far.
Broncos.
Great.
Broncos won. It was actually a fairly good game. It was a game of kickers. Came down to the kickers.
We knew it was going to be a shit show, though. I mean, both the teams are 0-3.
I think they would have won if they would have. There was a little bit there where Joe Flacco was in, and he was doing well. I think they would have won with him. The offensive line did. Oh man, I was like, is that the Bengals O line out there? They get green jerseys this week. Are they getting some practice in? Because that sure does look like them. That pocket collapses and just balls that quarterback up. And he ends up on the bottom somehow. Dude, Burrow is being welcomed into the NFL with astonishing force. And if that dude doesn't gain some toughness from this season alone, nothing will help him gain any toughness, because I've seen that guy take drill after drill after drill. He's been on his back more times than a porn star. I mean, I am serious. This is sad, man. Bengals need to figure their O-line shit out. Bengals have needed to figure their O-line shit out for a long time. And I know a lot of people, all of my friends that are fans and fan groups that I'm a part of, they're like, fire Zach Taylor, fire him. And I don't agree with that. I think it's all still a big shift. I mean, we just got rid of Marvin Lewis after over a decade. Just got rid of Dalton. We're finally,
that was a move that needed to happen 3 years ago.
That was a move that needed to happen a decade ago. Marvin Lewis just wasn't it. Anyways, so hopefully this week, because I keep picking my Bengals for a win. Hopefully they'll get one this week, or we're going for another number 1 draft pick. They need to get a new O-line, that's for sure. But last night's game wasn't too bad. It was just kind of a shit show, but it was fun to watch. I like watching Thursday night games. This week, didn't I tell you week 3 some weird shit was going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the games. Look at the games. Look at week 3 games. They were constant back and forth. And how about the Dolphins annihilating the Jaguars?
That was totally unexpected for me. I did not see that coming. Fitz magic though, dude.
And then the Bears coming back and beating ATL.
That just, dude. There's talk that if the Bears continue to not be that good, that they're going to draft a quarterback in the first round. I don't see the reason to. Stick with Nick Foles. Nick Foles is the man. Jacksonville tossed him off to the side because he had an injury. Nick Foles is the shit. He's he's a Super Bowl MVP. He's better than Trubisky. I think anyone's better than Trubisky. Maybe Sam Darnold is better than Trubisky, but
Bears won't be in postseason, but they'll figure some stuff out. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going down the list here, and so far, those first 2 games right there, shockers.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one: Bills defeat the Rams.
I saw that coming. Now I saw that coming because I think Josh Allen is an absolute beast this year. He's kicking ass.
But I mean, that was kind of to beat the Rams, though. That was pretty. I mean, that was
NFC West is the best in football.
And then see Washington and the Browns. That wasn't too big of a deal. Titans over Vikings. That was I was kind of shocked that the Raiders lost to the Pats.
Especially after they won against New Orleans and beat Drew Brees. Like everyone was saying, "Oh my God, Drew Brees and the Saints are, the best in the league." On the NFC side, I don't know about that.
Well, I thought that was Pats seem to always give up so much points. They seem to be able to score, but they always give up points. Their defensive is not like they've never been like a steel curtain or anything, And then I want to stop here for a second, okay? Because the Bengals and the Eagles, they're fucking tie. Let me go on a goddamn rant for a second.
Go.
NFL, wake up. Nobody wants a tie. It does 0 people good. If you have a player injured during that game, and then you end in a tie, and it's a total wash, what was your injury for? What was all the preparation for? What was all the week, all the work, everything? Then if you have players or you have ticket sales and fans in the stands, and they paid $50 for the cheap seats, let alone hundreds, thousands of dollars down for like the sideline, 50-yard line shit, and they pay concessions and all this stuff, and you end in a tie, and everybody goes, I don't know how to feel. We're not like happy, but we're also
didn't take the L.
We're not unhappy. What? And then halfway on the car ride home, they go, that fucking sucked. That was shit. What? Who ties? Who fucking ties? I'm telling you. Here we go, NFL. If you don't win in the first overtime, go to double OT. If you don't win in double OT, you go to a shootout. Go to a shootout, meaning you give each team the offensive ball on the 15-yard line, giving them 4 tries to get it in the end zone. Period. They get 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. There's not a first down. 1 down.
Isn't that college rules too?
Whatever. I don't care anymore. Get rid of the fucking tie.
Dude, I have an
Get
idea.
rid of the tie.
It always seems to come down to the kicker anyway, so let's just fuck it. Let's just say
There you go, shootout. Kickers.
Kickoff, dude. You start at the 35-yard line. If both kickers make it, great. Then you move to the 40. Then you move to the 45.
There you go.
Like,
there you go.
Just
round for round until somebody misses it, and if they both miss it in the same round, you make them go again until only one misses. Whatever. Have a shootout, but get a definite winner. The tie thing is bullshit. You are wasting people's energy, time, and their years on their life. Football is 16 games a goddamn week. It's already short enough. The pro athlete age group, the age life of an athlete for the football is what? 5 years?
3 years.
7 at max. Get rid of the tie.
Get rid of the tie. We're not Europe. All right? We don't have fucking nil games. Okay?
Yeah.
We're not soccer. We're not fucking Premier League. This is the NFL. We have winners and losers, and that's how it works in America.
Right. Either start giving out participation trophies in the Super Bowl or get rid of the fucking tie.
What happens if there's a tie in the Super Bowl?
I'm more upset about boycotting the NFL for the tie than I am anything else. I'm serious. I'm ready to boycott and say I'll watch again when you guys don't allow ties.
No, dude. Ties are going to be normal when Joe Biden's the president. We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Sports segment, Senny. Sports segment.
Will you shut up, man?
God.
No, I watched that game, and I thought it was a good game. The Bengals and the Eagles, it just kept going back and forth, and it ended in a tie. And I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Dude, don't worry, dude. There were very fine people on both sides.
Sports Center.
Keep yapping, man.
The people understand, Joe.
All right. Moving on. What we got? I didn't see the Panthers beating the Chargers.
I didn't either, man. This Chargers defense showed up against the freaking against the Chiefs. I thought they would again. I thought they were like an elite unit. I didn't see that happening.
Well, and the final shocking game of week 3, the weird, mysterious week 3, and you'll be happy about this, the Lions topping the Cardinals.
That happened?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like I didn't even pay attention this weekend.
26-23. The Lions beat the Cardinals.
Oh, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Okay.
I was like that's that week 3 weird shit.
I think you called that earlier on in the season too. That week 3 was going to be a weird one.
Every season, it's week 3. Is the ones that there's games that you can't predict.
Yeah.
That on paper should have gone the other way.
Shit, man. Well,
and now how do you call the Bills-Raiders game? Who's going to win the Bills-Raiders game?
I'm telling you, it's the Bills. It's going to be the Bills. It's
in Las
Vegas.
I keep going to
strong, dude. What?
It's in Las Vegas.
I keep wanting to say Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Dude, I got the same problem. I think the Bills are a hell of a lot better than what everyone makes them out to be.
It's about time. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Oh shit.
You know who we're gonna find out if they are who we thought they were? Is the Patriots.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun. They're going to be facing off Kansas City.
Oh, that's going to be a good game.
Is it? We're going to find out if Pats even have a defense that game.
I think they do.
I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be I think it's going to be very similar to the Seahawks game. The Seahawks-Patriots game. In that it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be theatrics.
But I don't know, but I think Kansas City, if Mahomes plays like he's been doing, Kansas City lights it up.
Kansas City has trouble stuffing the run, dude. That's what I've noticed.
Did you see that? Did you see the rumors, the Julio Jones trade rumors?
No. Elaborate.
Possibly going to the Pats.
Oh, fuck that. Sorry. They don't. Sorry.
Here, let me see if I
hate that idea.
Let me see
No,
if I
dude.
Julio
needs to come to the Niners. I will always say that.
When's Jimmy G get off of his injury?
He's likely to play week 5, is what everyone's saying. So next week.
Got it.
We're getting Kittle back this week. We might be getting Debo. Yeah.
So I just sent you that article. If Pats get Julio, Cam now has a definite deep threat.
Mm-hmm.
A definite deep threat.
Do the Pats want this? That's my question. Do the Pats really want to be a winner this year?
Here. I think whether or not they get Julio Jones depends on this game right here. If Cam Newton looks like he needs another defense or another offensive weapon with a deep throw against Kansas City, they'll do what it takes to get Julio Jones because Kansas City will be the team they need to beat.
Okay.
So I think if they beat Kansas City and they can figure it out, this is all chess with Belichick. Yeah, this is what he does. He puts people in places to be against certain teams and certain other athletes. He doesn't exactly just build like a dynamite team. He builds a team to face what he's faced with. So
it's chess.
Yeah, he really does. He plays chess. So, anyways, I'm just tired of seeing the Pats. It's weird seeing Cam Newton in there, but he looks like he's having fun. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. See if they're real.
At least he's having fun.
Looks like he's having more fun than he did in North Carolina.
See, obviously, you've seen the meme of him just sliding down his chair or on the bench. Well, there's this new meme of him like having a conversation with N'Keal Harry on the bench, and he just like looks at N'Keal and then starts like folding in his chair, which has become a new GIF for people wanting, I don't know, or meme, I don't know.
So what happened is exactly what we were worried about happening. A team has tested positive for Corona. They are the Tennessee Titans. And it has shifted a game off by a week. This is where we said this is where it's going to get weird this year because now Pittsburgh and Tennessee almost have a whole bye week to rest up. I mean, if anybody needs it, maybe San Francisco needs to come down with the Rona for a week or two.
I wonder if that. Can you manipulate it? Like I'm just.
Well, people might pick up on the fact that they can now.
Yeah, like we've got
17 injuries.
Oh shit! Patrick Mahomes has to be on the mend for 3 weeks. Okay. You know what? We're gonna say that our kick returner got COVID, and whoop, wee woo, red sirens. Okay, we're gonna reschedule this for a couple of weeks. We're gonna put you on the COVID IR, and
Jimmy G. Hey, come here. Let me test you with this. Why is that one cotton swab in a glass tube, and why are you wearing latex gloves and being weird about touching it? Don't worry about that. You feel fine, right?
I think you can open it up to abuse.
You're
not cheating. You're not wanting to win. Bad enough.
Well, I know. Well, yeah, I mean, those two teams are going to get a hell of an amount of rest.
Yep. They get basically 2 weeks off?
Yeah, well, everybody else. So now how is that fair to everybody else that's like going into either a short week or this is anyways. Well, it's going to be interesting because they won't be the first or the only team.
Won't be the last. It won't be the last. This is going to happen again, guaranteed.
Which team tests positive? Maybe we should start betting on that. Which team tests positive for the Rona next?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Dallas.
No, I'm going to say Jacksonville. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, why? Because they're in Florida?
Yeah.
And Florida's wide open right now?
Yeah.
They're just like, they're like just a big fuck you. We're wide open.
Have you seen? No, but have you ever seen the people that go to the Jacksonville Jaguars games?
No.
They're just. It's kind of. It's got that kind of redneck vibe a little bit. Like they've got in one of the end zones like a freaking like a hot tub. Like,
that's
where
amazing.
People just chill. Like there's a pool.
They have that in a baseball stadium too.
Yeah.
Where is
it? The Marlins?
I think it's in Arizona.
It could be. It's not Arizona.
Yeah, I think it's.
I could have swore it's in.
I think
is it the Diamondbacks?
I think they have a hot tub out in center field.
That's hilarious.
Or something like that. There's like a desert team or somewhere that's like super hot, and they do. Yeah, they have like a pool or something out in like
yes
field. Yeah.
I get like weird like go Florida Gators like.
All right. Well, you got Jacksonville. I think Dallas. Dallas is gonna be the next. Oh wait, no, Dallas already tested positive. Remember, Zeke did. Remember?
Did he?
Early.
That was way earlier in the year. Yeah.
I still say they test positive again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still put it on Jacksonville.
I think it's the stupid.
No offense to any listeners out there in Florida.
Yeah. I still think it's stupid that they fined coaches for not pulling their masks back up. And I'm like looking at all these NFL players with just face masks wrestling with each other going, what?
Yeah.
What?
They've got, dude, the NFL is threatening to take away draft picks if you aren't wearing your mask. That's how paranoid they are.
That's too much, man.
I still think it's a politics game. I still think it's, you know what? The MetLife Stadium turf is shit. There's a lot of turfs that are shit, but the NFL is so worried about losing money that they're not willing to admit it. They're gonna let the players play because why? They have money to make. To the advertisers, they're not gonna dude. This postponed game is gonna drive down revenue by a few.
Revenue's
few notches.
I just don't even understand how they're a sport or a business that is so ticket reliant is even. I mean, it's like a band or an artist selling tickets for their online show. You know, like that's what they're working with right now.
Basically. I still think it's a genius idea if the NFL could give everyone VR glasses and you buy a ticket to have like a on the field VR experience.
Yeah.
That's just
I still think that they need to give all home viewers the remote option of listening to the field while there's no chatter in the stands whatsoever. Because again, the pumped in stuff.
Yeah.
And have we settled whether or not they're pumping that into the stadium or whether or not they're pumping it into just the television?
I think I've seen a few clips where they are pumping it into the stadium.
Okay.
But it's so low. It's nothing. It's eerie. It's eerie. Like seeing a football player almost put on like a show when they score a touchdown and do the whole thing in the camera. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing this for? There's no reason.
I saw one, I think it was week 2. I think it was a Green Bay game anyways.
The Lambeau leap where they just leap up onto the stadium and there's no fans there.
They did that too, but it was somebody who ran into the end zone and they went like the crowd noise went crazy and they went to like flex at the stands and there was like nobody in them and they just kind of like awkwardly finished. It was funny. Anyways, but football is the only thing to this day still I'm like, look, I'm still going to get excited. Still gonna get happy. Still gonna watch my games. Everybody, shut up.
Excited for that pizza tonight.
Yep, you got it coming. What time do you want it? That's right. Technically, I didn't lose. So if Ernie's listening, you fucker, take some notes because I won't be doing this for you next week if I come in third place or second to last or whatever. So, yeah, what time do you want your pizza delivered?
I'm thinking 6:30.
All right.
That'd be great.
All right. Send me your address one more time. I forgot it.
For sure.
Anyways, but yeah, Julio goes to the Pats. Don't count them out anymore.
They're strong. Cam's doing his thing. He didn't get into the end zone like the first 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks. This last one, which really sucked because I started him in my fantasy.
You pulled Tyler Boyd, right?
No, I did. You fucker. I listened to you.
Oh, and then he did catch a bunch of shit.
And then he did catch. He was the most targeted guy on the fucking squad. I'm so mad at you right now. I lost because of that.
Well, you can take it out on me by eating your pizza with satisfaction.
Yeah, I guess I win. I win some, I lose some. Why not?
He just didn't. I still wouldn't even count it. Like at any point, I see Joe Burrow going out with a season-ending injury. At any point, I'm serious. If I look up and I look at the TV and Joe Burrow is down with a torn ACL, I would go, yeah, because there's no fucking offensive line. At some point, something's going to give. You know, you beat the shit out of a piece of a plank wood. At some point, it's gonna break. You know, like he needs protection. God damn it.
Sorry.
We need to go like scout some sumo wrestlers, and that's what I would do. I always said that. I said if I was a GM of a football team, my ass would be flying to Japan or somewhere for
Samoa.
Whatever. Yeah. And yes, some Samoa. Yeah, I would. I would be picking up some boys that could move some people around. Like, I mean, that's what they do for a living. And
brute physical strength, man. They need it. And this sucks, dude. Think about all the impacts of what's going on just at the college level and how that's going to affect the pros next year. They've got no tape. They've got limited tape, or they've got is this person still as good as they were their junior year? Because they showed up for their senior year, their entire school was shut down. And what do we do? It's gonna be a shit show next year.
Yeah.
You just don't have a lot of people showcasing their talent.
And then like for kickers, I'd be like David Beckham. Either him or you.
He'd sell a shit ton of jerseys. I'm telling you.
Yep. I bet you he could kick a field goal from 60 yards out too.
I bet you he could bend it.
I'm sure there's plenty of females out there right now thinking the exact same thing. Anyways, all right.
Hey, did like Beckham.
Did you ever sit down with your wife and watch that movie, by the way, King Arthur, with her boy Charlie Hunnam?
No, but I watched it, and I thought it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was a good movie. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't know. Yeah, no, it was a good movie.
I just love the Sword in the Stone thing.
Yeah.
He's just lining people up, and he's the one, and I'm like, oh my god, this is sick.
Well, the fact that the spoiler alert, the stone was his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was like, oh shit, that's cool, you know? Yeah. Anyways, well, I got my politics out and my little rant.
Sports talk done.
Yeah, my buddy texted me about my Celtics after they got kicked out. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about it right now.
I'm just stoked that my A's are moving on.
I don't think my Celtics should have had the stamina to go up against LeBron right now anyways. They don't have the deep... it
would have been a 3-game series, 4-game series.
It probably would have been a 5-game, but they don't have the 3-ball to keep up with LeBron and Anthony Davis. They're just going to tear through that play or the finals. So, like I said, just give them the trophy now. I do not expect the Heat to pull this one out. I hope they do, because I really don't want to see LeBron get another one, let alone go to the Lakers and get another one. But I wouldn't mind see them do this one in honor of Kobe Bryant either.
I was just gonna say, man, if it's all, the focus is gonna be on Kobe and the legacy of the Lakers.
Yeah.
God, man, I still hate watching that freaking highlight of Robert Horry hitting that three to just put the nail in the coffin on the freaking Sac Kings, man. There was a little ad, like for some like sports podcast where someone was interviewing Robert Horry, and I just turned off my fucking phone. I can't
living in the
Lakers.
past, buddy.
I can't stand the Lakers. I don't care if I'm living in the past.
I can't stand the Lakers. I'm a Celtics fan. If anybody hates the Lakers, there's nobody that hates the Lakers more than me.
I don't know, dude. Kings fans hate them a lot.
Well, that was built between 2001 and 2006.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that hatred, that rivalry came out of almost nowhere. Because before that, it wasn't that big a thing. They were in the same conference and stuff. It was just always kind of Celtics, Lakers, where there was the Bulls, Pistons there for a while. Between those 8 years, that early 2000s, boy, Kings fans learned to loathe the LA Lakers.
They were always the fucking roadblock.
Yeah. And
Shaq.
We always say it. That was the year. You cannot. If you could tell me that right now, today, I could have the 2003 or 2004 Bobby Jackson, Hito Turkoglu, Peja Stojakovic, Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Vlade Divac. If you could tell me that those guys would be the starting lineup for my Boston Celtics or in the starting rotations, I would be like, let's go. Let's go. Let's do this right now. Because there was this weird chemistry between all of them, and they didn't belong. They were the story of misfits. I mean, it just wasn't a team that really belonged together, but they clashed so well, and they played so well together. And they were that tight team, they were. So, and the cherry on top of that piece before you start, it was getting rid of Jason Williams and replacing him with Mike Bibby.
And you see, I fucking loved Jason Williams. That was my brother's favorite player of all time.
He's a ball hog, though.
Was he?
He eventually got canned for they needed somebody who could assist and pass and hit the moneymaker, and they got it out of Mike.
Yeah, I agree. It was tough seeing him go, though. Mike Bibby, dude, fucking, he rocked it. Have you seen him lately? Dude's jacked.
He's a steroid freak. Yeah,
he looks muscle hamster.
No, and that's what they got out of Mike. They literally got a Jason Williams, but with the added addition of what they needed. They needed somebody who could pass the rock and make Bobby Jackson a player, make Turkoglu a player. Well, not really much Bobby Jackson, because that was his rotation for the most part. But
yeah, he was the sixth man.
Yeah, he could assist, and yeah, that Kings team was a phenomenal team.
And it was built off of trades and free agents and not so much the draft, because and that's how they had to build. They had to build that team from nothing, because barely anyone no one really wants to fucking go to Sacramento. It's not known for being this big basketball town. It's not, but the fans are fucking crazy good.
The stadium's cool. The new stadium's legit.
Dude.
When it first went in, I went to the Celtics-Kings game. My buddy, who's a big Kings fan, him and I went. And Celtics lost, but it was a cool stadium. Anyways, well, again, living in the past, that was a killer team. I wish they I'm trying to find like a documentary on them. That would be a fun thing to watch on those few seasons.
They won't focus on the paid off refs, probably.
Wait, those were paid off? You mean that elbow to the nose wasn't an official, like...
God, I can't get over it.
That wasn't an actual basketball maneuver?
I watched that whole series in Spokane, Washington at like my family friend's house. We were fucking crazy. All over. Oh, dude, I was playing like 7th grade basketball at the time. And it just, my heart sank. Like I did not have a good trip because of that fucking series.
I've never had a bad time watching anything with other people except when my wife and I first met. We watched, which year was it, where the Niners went to the playoffs and they lost to Seattle. It's within like, it has to be within 8 years ago, within like 7 to 8 years ago.
That was probably, when they lost, was the
Kaepernick versus Russell Wilson?
Yeah, that was 2013.
Was it? So
yeah.
we're sitting at the bar at BJ's, and we're watching it, and that was our plan. We were just gonna go there about second quarter. We're gonna watch the game, have some food, And there were these Seattle fans there, and the ladies were just obnoxious, like sticking their tongues out and like to all the Niner fans around, like just people that didn't even know. And I've never
Seattle Karens, man.
Oh man, yeah, they were Karens. They were about to get their ass whooped too by some of the fans' wives. They were, it got heated in there. Yeah. We left early. It was like
that was the game that Richard Sherman like called out Michael Crabtree and was like, "You don't pair me up next to a sorry ass player like Crabtree."
Wait, Michael who?
I know.
What happened?
I know. Yeah.
Where is he?
I think he's gone now.
Yeah.
But he had a few good years there.
Did he?
Just with the Niners, and then I think the Raiders, and then I think he went to the Ravens and just fell off. Dude.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, man. Well, thanks for taking this on with me, and to the second debate. Hopefully, possibly, whether or not our president is dead or alive, or I don't know. He's got the vid, man. He's got the Rona. He's not gonna make it.
0.05% chance of dying.
Oh, this is a leftist wet dream right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so happy. I bet you there's so many smiles upon leftist face right now, thinking that he's gonna die.
Yeah, I fucking hate watching the social media out of it all. It's like, oh my God, you do exist. You infected Trump with the. I literally saw something along those lines.
Yeah. It goes both ways. It's just. Yep. And God's also lighting the entire West Coast on fire because of pedophilia. I guess I've seen that too. So
there was a state senator a few years ago who said that God is giving these wildfires to California because they legalized gay marriage. They were the trendsetters. They didn't care.
Okay, Pastor Rick. Well, hey there, ho there. Then why did God be so quiet there on the child molestation thing in the Catholic Church there, huh? He seems to be quite calm about that.
Yeah. Well, in order to be a Satanist priest, you have to first become a Catholic priest. I found that one out.
We started watching that Exorcist television show.
Oof.
Did you watch it?
Is it good?
It's good. It's on Fox.
I'm about to check it out.
I don't watch television series like that are like mainstream, like Fox or ABC. They seem too cheesy. Mm-hmm. This was actually pretty good. It had like one CGI moment where it was like, but you knew. But it's got Gina Davis in it, and it's got what's his name from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, his best friend that goes with him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in it.
Okay.
No, it's actually pretty good. It's kind of cool. It gives you a little bit more of like what an exorcist is or what the priests are that do that.
I get the heebie-jeebies, like just thinking about.
It's
like,
October.
Oh, and it's October.
Hey,
Man.
yesterday, do you know if anybody woke up Green Day?
Oh shit! I gotta text him.
We gotta wake up Green Day.
Gotta text Billy Joe Armstrong right now.
If you don't get that joke, then go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right.
It's October 1st.
Wake me up. Anyways. All right, buddy. Well, I'm going to go check on my kids and hope for a second presidential debate.
Even if it's done over Zoom, it'd still be fun. Then you can actually mute people.
This is true. I don't want to mute people. I think Trump needs to let him talk. Let him talk, Trump. It'll work out for you in the better. Trust me.
Yeah. Just let him ramble. You know, the thing.
Ask him about his hairy legs. And I want you to ask
the
him.
The kids in the pool would just rub my legs down.
Watch the water run down my leg hair. And I love kids sitting on my lap. I've always loved kids sitting on my lap.
Yeah, well, you know what? I read a
Joe,
tweet. I read a tweet from
Joe. We asked you what you thought about climate change.
I'm offended that climate change didn't come up as a topic during the debate. Well, sorry, we got other things to worry about right now. That tweet from frickin' the Daily Show guy. He said, "This debate is a prime example of kindergartners not getting paid enough. Kindergarten teachers not getting paid enough."
It was a shit show.
And I to which I responded,
"Would you shut up,
well,
man?
if kindergartners were involved, then definitely Joe Biden would be there."
Ooh.
But sorry, that was terrible. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah. I wouldn't let my kid around Joe Biden.
Keep yapping, man.
The people understand, Joe.
They sure
47 years
All right,
you've done nothing. They understand.
All right. I'm going to sign out. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Follow us, like, and subscribe. And until next time, cheers, everyone. And stay sane out there.
With the head, the victim gets all fuzzy. You can't feel the next.
You got knocked the